Hello and welcome to Salina First Response. I'm David Hawksworth, your host, and I'm here today with Fire Chief Tony Snyder. Tony, welcome to the program.
Thank you once again, David, for having me.
It seems like just like yesterday, we talked about the second annual 9/11 Stair Climb event, and now here we are talking about the third annual one.
Yes, and it just seems to, it's starting to really take hold, which I think I said the first year here, it was new. Nobody had done it, right. And they have some bigger ones in KC and down in Wichita, but we brought it here, and we've been very fortunate. And this year we have 4 different events really attributing and honoring those sacrifices of 9/11.
Yeah, and I think it's just been a terrific way to remember the sacrifice that those hundreds of firefighters gave on that day.
A lot of people don't realize, initially it was 343 firefighters that were killed, and since then there are now over a total of 700, with the line of duty deaths attributed to 9/11, with the medical issues, the cancer issues, the psychiatric and mental difficulties that people faced. That was tragic. It was a tragic day not only for New York, but for our country. And for the world, really. I mean, it changed so many things. So we have to always remember that.
Absolutely. Okay, well, let's get into the specifics of the event.
Sure.
We have the actual day of on 9/11. We have a couple of events going.
Yeah. So on 9/11, that's a Wednesday, September 11th. We're going to have a Tribute to Heroes memorial service here at Station 1 at 8 a.m. I know the guys like to do that every year, and it's just a way of our little organization honoring their memory. And then later in the evening, we've been fortunate that Marjorie at Great Life Salina has welcomed us to her, basically, I think, patio. And so we're going to have Tony Bowles playing music, and Tony Don from Martinelli's is going to supply some food. And from 6 to 9, and for $10 a person, come out and what I like to call an evening to always remember. So it's just a little thing to honor for people that want to maybe participate like that. And so those will both be on the 11th, and then we start ramping it up.
Right.
Then we start for September 29th, will be the 3rd annual 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb and 5K Family Fun Walk. And I've named that this year the Steps of Hope.
Oh, okay.
And the reason for that is this. Our guest speaker, who was supported by the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation when she lost her husband, her name's Jenny Van Handel. After Heath was killed in 2009, they had 2 sons, and one of her sons passed away from cancer. And the Love Chloe Foundation was part of her life as well.
Okay.
So we have partnered with the Love Chloe Foundation this year for the Stair Climb to help support them in their mission of supporting families who have children with cancer diagnosis. So I think it's going to be a great thing. I've heard that last year about what about the community, and people don't understand everything the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation does, but I know people in Salina know what the Love Chloe Foundation does.
Right.
So we're hoping that will help fortify the whole event as far as the community involvement, and help the Love Chloe Foundation as well. And we get done the stair climb, and we're moving right over to Long MacArthur. Ashley MacArthur has been absolutely awesome. They're bringing back Live from the Lot in support of the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation this year. And the gates will open there at 4 o'clock. The music will start, I think it's at 6 p.m. They have Jay Allen, who I hadn't really heard of him, and Ashley nailed this. This guy, he has some meaningful music. Really, it's really good stuff. I'd almost say spiritual, but it's not quite there. But it is too. It's heartfelt.
Right.
And then we have Tyler Braden, who's a former volunteer firefighter. And the one song I love I love a few of them, but the Devil You Know song, I swear, is like written for me, because all that's inside, you have to keep it in.
Right.
And then Josh Ross. And you can go longmacarthur.com for tickets for that, and it's $15 a person. That's it.
It's a great deal.
So, yeah, we're looking forward to September. I'll probably look forward to October when this is all through.
Right.
And I don't have to worry about my hair falling out, so I'm good. So, no, we're excited this year to be doing this and really get the community involved at a higher level. Kansas Wesleyan University, where the stair climb will be. Dr. Matt Thompson, the president there, they have been so supportive of us. This is the third year in a row they're allowing us to use their, stadium, JRI Stadium. And so, yeah, it's been wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. And we should mention that not only is this going to benefit the Love Chloe Foundation, but also the National
National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, right. Yes, absolutely.
And what kind of work do they do?
The National Fallen Firefighters Foundation was actually created by Congress, but not funded by Congress. The foundation has grown to the point where we provide, typically for our families, surviving family members, there's everything from children's camps to survivor weekends to scholarships to training to it's amazing what they've done. And then we've branched out to where I'm also a life safety advocate for them, and now the Kansas State lead. We call, we're just advocates that volunteer. We don't charge to go out and teach firefighters how to basically go home at the end of the day and have a nice long career and a nice long retirement by protecting yourself and knowing what we've learned over the last 20 years. So it is interesting. And I'll be in St. Louis next week for the Life Safety Summit. That's every 5 years, and it's a big deal because, as things change, we have to change to make sure we're ahead of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a whole bunch that the foundation does, and I know you and I have spoken before, David, about the different events I've run when I was in Philadelphia and now here, and I've raised well over $300,000 for the families of fallen firefighters. So, but this year we're going to share a little love with the Love Chloe Foundation, and I think it's meaningful, and Jenny is going to at some point speak on both of those entities and how they've helped her.
Well, those are both great causes to raise money for. How does someone get registered for the event?
So for the registration for the event, there'll be some more things coming out. But if you just go to firehero.org and look for events and then stair climbs, I know it's multiple steps here. We are going to have some posters out. We'll have it put out on social media with some QR codes to make it a little more simple. To read out the web page would be crazy.
Yeah, it's a long one.
Yes, it's a long one. I can't help that. Or you can wind up just calling me at 785-826-7340. And just keep your eyes out, and we'll keep everybody informed. And looking forward to having a lot of people this year. Everybody that comes to the stair climb gets a T-shirt, and so we're looking forward to it.
Okay. We'll make sure we put that information right down here at the bottom of the screen. So
absolutely.
Make it a little easier.
A little bit, yes.
Okay, well, that's certainly quite a handful of events that we have going on, all to remember the sacrifice that firefighters made on 9/11 of 2001. And the Love Chloe Foundation, I know, has a bit of a family connection on my end too. So,
right.
They've helped a ton of people.
This is great, and you've heard the term. We've all heard the term. Our children are our future. If we don't try to take care of them and help these young children that have these terrible diagnoses, and do what we can for their families as a community, we would be lacking. But you also know how I feel about this community here. And I know they're extremely supportive, so I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a great September. I'm certainly looking forward to it. And on the 30th of September, I'll breathe again.
Breathe easier.
Yes.
Okay, but in the meantime, we have the memorial right here at Fire Station Number 1 on Elm Street. At 8 a.m. on 9/11. And we have the night to always remember, evening to always remember.
Yep.
That evening on the 11th. Then the actual stair climb is the 29th. And then Live on the Lot is later that evening on the 29th.
At 4 p.m., yes.
Okay.
And yeah, this year I was smart. I didn't know last year not to do this when there's a K-State home game. That took a lot of people away from the stair climb. So this year I tried to be a little more smart about it, and hopefully it'll work out. And we're looking to I'd love to get 300 climbers out there.
Yeah.
So it would be awesome.
Well, as any good event does, it evolves over time
Yes.
and gets better. So that's certainly the case here.
Yeah. We're trying.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Anything else we need to know about the month of September?
The month of September, yeah, we should be receiving possibly 2 of our new apparatus in
Oh,
September. If everything goes right, we'll actually have at least one of them displayed at Long MacArthur to hold up our huge flag over the stage. And so we're looking forward to that. We still have the baby box issue. We're just working through, getting the permit, getting it installed, doing the checks, and having our grand blessing, I'll call it. And, I think that may happen in September.
Oh,
as well.
That'd be wonderful.
So, yeah, we're busy.
I think the quicker we can put that into action, the better it'll be.
Yes, and again, parents in crisis, it's an act of love if they realize they cannot benefit that child. Some people may not agree with that. I was adopted as an infant, and I just feel that if you know that, then this provides an option, an anonymous option. They can always walk right into a firehouse and hand a baby over, but then they have to face people,
right.
And it causes them stress, and I get it. So this option will provide anonymity, and there's nothing legal against them. They don't get charged with anything. We don't know who they are, and they can basically come up, open the door, and place a baby in there, and the alarms and bells go off, and we go and make sure the baby's okay, and there we go.
Yeah, the baby's never in there for more than a minute or two.
No, absolutely, and we'll have training on that as well, and I'll be inviting the local law enforcement so that they're aware, because it is a multi-jurisdictional response. Law enforcement just have to document it legally, so they'll do a report. Again, it's anonymous. We don't want to know. We don't care to know. Kansas law is allowing us to do this. So, yeah, it's good.
What happens to the infant after?
Well, the infant will be checked immediately by the paramedics, taken to the hospital, and then from there, whatever process takes hold there. There have been a number of instances around the country over the last few years where the firefighter who's opened that baby box and taken that child out wound up adopting that baby.
Yeah, right.
So, you see those special stories, and it warms your heart. Again, I get it. And I still call it an act of love that they give up the child they know they can't handle.
Right.
So.
Yep. Well, I don't know that we can say anything else besides that.
Nope.
You've also been fortunate enough that City Commission approved some additional equipment for firefighters, breathing apparatus.
Yeah, we got some new breathing apparatus on order, and at a very smart way to approach things, and City Commission, the City Manager's office, and we've all been on this to try to stabilize, instead of the spikes and whatnot in the annual spending, is try to organize this in such a way that it kind of stabilizes it. And so it's little bits at times on certain things, because if you plan right. So it's been great that everybody's been supportive. I know, with the 7 apparatus, we found a way to show them how we could do it, and we have a plan. And it's been great. We have the Station 4 project ongoing.
Right.
So, we're actually meeting Thursday, and I'm hoping in the spring, that'll get kicked off.
Right.
But everything takes time.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'll be there with a camera when
sure.
you get that first shovel in the ground.
Yeah.
And then on top of everything, you have ongoing training activities.
We train nonstop. Every day there is training, and it's constant. And when you look at the requirements, they keep getting more stringent, and so they do. And then they maintain their physical fitness too. We stay fit. That's the biggest part of our job, or the biggest killer, the heart attacks and cancer. We have to constantly train, constantly do things, and then try to identify, I think you've heard me say this before. People say, how do you prepare the fire service for the future? I believe we create our own future. But by being involved at the regional level, the state level, the national level, and see what's coming up, see what's being suggested, see what ideas are out there, and that's what we do. Last week in Dallas at Fire Rescue International, I walk around and I look at some of these pieces of equipment and this and that, and I'm just, 10 years ago I had a thought about something, and it's taken 10 years, but somebody's coming up with it, So I don't have the brains for that, but, electronic engineers might.
Right.
But
right.
Anyway, so no, there's always there's always things we have to be cognizant of and be prepared for. And the sooner we can get out in front of it, the better off we'll be, and we can plan for it.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, I think I speak for everybody in Salina when I say we appreciate your leadership here and
thank you.
Giving us the fire protection that we need.
Salina has a great fire department. I've said to these folks, I'd go to battle with any of them. Mm-hmm. They don't want me in there, but I would. I still can. Right. I can get down the hallway.
Right.
Even with my mask and all that, I can still do it. It might kick my butt, but it's okay.
It's all right.
I don't want to see fires because people are losing everything in their life, if not worse. And our first goal in the fire service is to prevent fires. Mm-hmm. So that's where it's at. We try to prevent them. We try to provide the education, the training, the inspections. But when our folks have to go and that bell tolls, they're ready.
And if you want any information on preventing fires, you have that available.
Yeah, we have our prevention office here. They wear dual hats, inspectors, prevention. We can provide literature, come out and speak to children in school. And then we're even going to add in, once the baby box is in, I have a young lady who has offered to go out to the high schools and do some talking about the baby box. So volunteer, but she's the one who started this, Miss Tiffany Moss, or Mrs. Tiffany Moss, when she provided city commission about the baby box idea, and she's been great. So it's partnerships.
Yep.
It's collaboration. Nobody gets anything done by themselves, and I've been very fortunate, again, being here, and really respect it and love it here. So.
Well, great. We're glad to have you.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to all the events in September for the memorial of 9/11 this year, and. Again, what's the phone number here if anybody needs more information?
785-826-7340.
Okay. I'll be glad to give that to you. So.
Yep.
All right.
Great.
Well, Chief Snyder, thanks.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
And we'll see you next time on Salina First Response.